right, y'all. It's the end of day 2. Did everybody have a good day today?
I did.
Mm.
I did. I had fun.
It was a great.
Good. Well, last night we had a little bit of trouble going to sleep because we're in a new place and that's hard sometimes. And we talked about how God was with us all the time. And we talked a little bit about how sometimes we go to certain places where we feel close to God. I'm going to read you a story tonight about a little boy who sees God in the people in his city where he lives. Would y'all like to hear it?
Yeah.
All right. So the book is called Maybe God is Like That Too. I live in the city where the sidewalks and the subway cars and buildings and buses are packed with people, but I've never seen God before. Grandma, does God live in the city? I asked one morning at breakfast. Yes, God is here, she says. You just need to know where to look. Whenever you see love, joy, and peace, God is there, she says, stirring her tea. Wherever there is patience, kindness, and goodness, God is there too. When you see faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, that's God's Spirit at work. On the way to school, I'm on the lookout. I see a bus full of tourists and count 10 bright yellow taxis. I spy a man sweeping a stoop, and Grandma and I laugh when we see a tiny dog wearing a fluffy purple sweater. At school, Grandma hands me my lunch and hugs me close before she says goodbye. That's what love looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. On the swings, I pump so hard I see over the wall into the alley. My friends shout, "Higher, higher," as my feet fly way up into the sky. That's what joy looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. Outside, car horns blast and sirens scream, but my classroom is quiet and calm. That's what peace looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. I try to tie my shoes, but the laces tangle around my fingers. My teacher sits down beside me and shows me how to tie them. That's what patience looks like to me, and maybe God is like that too. On the way home, I see a doorman wearing a red cape and a hat with a shiny brim. He's holding the door for a man using a wheelchair. The man moves very slowly, and the doorman chats with him and smiles. That's what kindness looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. While I'm setting the table for dinner, there's a knock at the door. It's our neighbor from downstairs bringing us a loaf of bread. It's golden brown and warm and wrapped in a thin white towel. That's what goodness looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. After dinner, I work on my homework while Grandma stands at the kitchen sink, washing dishes and humming to herself, just like she does every single night. That's what faithfulness looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. At bedtime, Grandma sits at the edge of my bed, singing me a lullaby and stroking my head. She tucks my blankets up close around me. That's what gentleness looks like to me. And maybe God is like that too. I lie in bed, watching the curtains flutter. I want to talk about the dog we saw today and how high I can swing, but Grandma says that once I'm tucked in, I have to stay in bed until morning. I close my eyes and try to fall asleep. That's what self-control looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. I saw God over and over again today, whenever I saw love, joy, and peace, and wherever there was patience, kindness, and goodness. When I saw faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, I saw God's Spirit at work. I don't see God the way I see my friends, or the streetlights, or the river, but I see signs of God's Spirit all around me, right here in the city. I know what God is like. Maybe I can be like that too. pretty good book.
I like that.
Good. Well, I wonder if you guys feel close to God in your interactions with some of the people that you know.
I know that Mana let me use her pillow, and that was very sweet because I only had one and she knows I like two.
Oh, that was so sweet. I love that. Thank you for sharing. Sometimes I see God when I'm sick and someone brings me soup. Oh, that's a really sweet thing to do. Thank you, H.E.
Sometimes I see God in somebody who will share part of their food with me.
That feels really good, doesn't it? I like it.
I feel God when I sing.
Oh, that's a good one. I feel God when you sing too. I see God when it's peaceful and I'm outside. It's a good one.
I see God in my family.
Those are excellent ways to see God and feel close to God. Thank you all for sharing. Well, in our craft box for camp, we have this guy in there. And you might be wondering what he is. And this is Flat Jesus. He's wearing a camp shirt just like us. So what I want you guys to do over the next few days and weeks of camp is take him with you. And whenever you feel close to God, just snap a picture. It might be in one of your favorite places, or it might be in a good deed or something that you feel from one of your friends. So take a picture with Flat Jesus and make sure you post it so that we can all see it and share it, okay? And the thing about it is, if you're wanting to find God and feel close to God, you have to pay attention very carefully, okay? So be on the lookout, and I bet we'll find him everywhere we go.